So at the moment, okay, we'll come to the price. We are actually pricing it at USD $35 per set. Yeah. At Comic Con, it'll be sold at 2,000 rupees. And over and above that, we're giving away a free metallic poster, which I think you all will find in your bag as well. Now, the idea at this stage is, because we just introduced the idea of a card game, it will be a card game in a physical format. But I mentioned down the road, we've already started planning to create, it won't be a duality, so it won't be I'm playing and I'm connecting it online, but it'll be something that will stand alone as an app or a gaming on a console device. So that's what we are now exploring and talking to partners too about getting that done. We've before we actually set the price, we've been asking around. Varun has been coming in and out for the last 3-4 months with the game, with our test set and beta set. Okay. Yeah, and he lives in Chennai. Yeah. So, but because he used to come to Singapore to work with us and to develop the game. So we've actually been doing some checks. And we found that actually 2,000 has been a pretty average amount of money that people are willing to spend. And for our part, to ensure that the investment that they are putting in is worth the while because of the quality of the product. It's going to be the engagement of the games. And when you get the set, it actually is a pretty premium looking set. And it is premium because we've been very, very careful about the quality of the finish. And one of the things that we've also looked at is if you look at each card, the one thing that people fall in love with is actually the art. And the artwork is actually done by an Indian artist. And I think it's also mentioned in the release, called Anirudh Saina, right? And he's actually very well known for his artwork within this whole Indian mythology. So we've been very careful with who we talk to, who we work with, and the quality of the product needs to come through. So I think what they get for the money they're spending, we are very confident that actually it's value for money. What will happen over the next few months? So we've launched with the first set. So what we will be doing over the next few months is we will create expansion sets. Expansion sets with new heroes, new villains. Just to give you an idea of what the game is about, which I think, I'm not sure whether it's been made clear, but fundamentally you have two heroes, one is Karna, one is Arjuna. Okay, and the objective is they all start with what we call 40 health points, and the objective is to reduce their health point from 40 to 0 using the spells, the warriors, the astras, all of that, and that's really how you play the game. So what we're looking at doing is we'll expand with more hero sets, more weapons, more and that's how we're looking at keeping the interest going and the global market for collective card game, right, is worth 4.1 billion. So that is the global market. Okay. Now, what we find is going to be unique about this market is that, India in itself, with the theme which is all Indian mythology and all that, I think it's very self-sustaining. And I think people, based on the movies that have gone out, the TV series, and the love for the mythology is so great. And I think that's what's going to capture the attention of the public. So are we going to get that sort of market share here? We hope so, but we're just saying the potential is very great. The thing is this, right? That the entire collective card game concept is actually practically non-existent in this market. Yeah. So that's where we saw the potential. So that's where, listen, the starting point for us isn't about, can you come in and make money? Our starting point is, how do we get young people interested in Indian mythology in a way that's slightly different? There's going to be a lot more, a lot more accessible, a lot more, just capturing their interest. So we saw gaming as one way, and we thought this was another nice platform to start off with. And that's honestly where our heart's coming from. So in terms of, are we looking at numbers, sales, and all that? Hey, that's what happens at the end of the day, great. But that's not our starting point. Our starting point, how do we come in with this great idea we have and kind of, because if you look at each of the cards, it doesn't just, at the end of every card, there's a bit of a story that relates back to the Mahabharata. How is this particular character, how is this particular weapon relate back to the story as well? And so one part of it is how to make it, remember it all started with Arjun, my Huron's son. That's big, we're now talking to investors, so it all depends on how that works out. So as Varun mentioned, we've had quite a few conversations with investors in Singapore, and we've actually been having conversations with people here in India. And that conversation hasn't ended because we're still getting people approaching us and looking and exploring ideas. So it's sort of an ongoing. So once that portion is sorted, I think then we're a lot more confident in saying, putting a proper timeline together. For now, it will be metro, right? Definitely.